That's the theory. How much room do I have? 2 more? Yeah, I think this is a 14 bale lifter. So we'll go get 2 more on the way back. And that one. And lift that up. And now we have to guess what the unload button is, because I don't recall. How about that one? That's working. And good. All right, those are all loaded in there. We'll fetch the next load. So we made 14. Keep counting. I think we normally get 24. Probably about 40 to 44 round ones. So I'm not sure how well this will do. Missed it. Never mind. That one. And generally, when it comes to selling bales, I'll drive a truckload to town. I will not drive a partial truckload. We can, yeah, we're making hay, we're making straw, we're making the other things, silage, and all of that is cow food. So I am absolutely happy with just taking full loads. In this situation, I'm low on hay. So I kind of want all the hay I can get. But if I wasn't, then I would sell, 48, and all the extras I would just dump them in my shed, because I'm going to use them eventually. And it delays the main I'm running out point. How many we've got? Okay, so we got 28, 30. Okay, 30 square bales. That one. So 2 more. And generally I'll sell silage rather than hay, because silage is worth more. And good morning, Cameo. Welcome to Saturday. It is an awesome, dark, overcast, 31-degree, cloudy Saturday. But hey, at least it's not snowing yet. And there is no snow on the ground, except where the neighbour shoveled his driveway and just piled it like 3 feet high. So not all of his snow melted. The good news is our solar panels are working. We're not quite making the electricity that we use in a day, but think for the winter we've done about 1/6 per month, which hopefully means we will be making a lot more come summer, like way more than we use. Although the other thing we have to keep track on in summer is how much we're actually using, because obviously that is we're also going to be burning AC. So yeah, the AC is going to be using way more power than we use during the winter. So heating is gas, and there's you can't suck solar heat from the sun to replace your gas usage. It's not how it works. Plus, the reason you need heating is because the sun's not providing much heat during the winter months. So there's all that too. How's this looking? I really can't tell what's in there now. Oh yes, I can. Okay, so the square straw bales are at the back. Then we have the round silage bales. Then we have the square hay bales. Then we have the round straw bales. We'll be using round straw bales for a little while yet. Anyway, let's go rip up the grass. Steering assist, 2 headlands. Okay. Do that. Lower that, and let's start taking this lot up. So I don't have create fields with a cultivator mod loaded. That was not the greatest. So we will be creating. Should have raised that. I should have what was I saying? Yeah, we're going to have to plough the difference, but still, it's all good. Plus, the new grass fields, I can mulch them and roll them and all the things that you need to do when you plant seeds in them. So that may or may not improve our yield. I am going to be joining straight ahead here to that cornfield. It's just that obviously I can't do that till the corn's gone. But maybe that will be the first cornfield that we cut, if it works out that way. I think you're supposed to do the outside last. Oh well, so shoot me. It does make joining these two fields up means I won't be able to nip along this creek and join the road over there. That will no longer be an option. But that's probably fine. I could put a lock-up shed over there. and put all of our mowing equipment in there so it doesn't have to live on the farm. Have to consider that. Problem is I don't think there's a lot of room over there. So it might be a little too, what's the word for it? This is where. Oh dear. Stop. Go drive. Oh, I didn't raise it. Well. Still, progress is being made on the farm. And I am still considering a lime production facility for the farm, and then maybe get a rock picker to deal with that. The problem is we're always making rocks every time we plant corn. We have to plough the land, and ploughing the land creates rocks. Most of the, if we plant soybeans, and I think if we plant cotton, the next planting will just be direct drill, so we don't have to cultivate or plough the ground. And start. Okay, back we go. Oops. Do the next thing. Is this going to work? Oh, that actually worked. I am surprised. Good. So once this is all done, we are kind of done for September at that point. And the day is 10:20 at the moment. So probably skip through to October and at least start looking at what we're going to be doing in October. Even if we don't get things started, we'll get everything set up for harvest in October. That would be a good plan. And then after that, I guess we'll be looking towards next week's episode. Doing anything next week? Today is 21. Yes, next week is 28. So, last day of February next week. That's going to be so awesome. So yeah, I guess I have no idea what we're planning for March. Okay, so I ordered a model train for my layout. Oh, back in June. And it was a last minute. The pre-orders are gone in. The manufacturer's making everything that got ordered. And I didn't put in a pre-order. So it's like, I hope somebody still has some. And I found a a store that still had some. So I put in the order, and then like a week later, the manufacturer announced that actually we're not happy with the production facilities routing of the electrics, the wires inside the model. So we're having them redesign all of that. The models themselves are fine. They just had to take all the electronic gubbins out and redo it. And so secure the wires a little bit better. So they said, we're not going to see them until November. So I think we had an announcement in November that yes, locomotives are in, they're on a boat, they'll be here in a week. So that was good. And then the model shop I order from usually doesn't get their deliveries until about 2 weeks after the manufacturer receives them. And the manufacturer does tests and what have you, make sure everything's running right, and all the QA stuff. So yeah, 2 weeks later, the model turned up at the store, and I want a little bit of bespoke work done to it. And it's Christmas and New Year's, so things get delayed. Well, I contacted them this week and said, okay, it's been 2 months since I last heard from you. What's actually going on with this order? So, we're terribly sorry. I'll go and investigate. I'll get back to you when I find out. So, not sure if he's going to need a reminder, because obviously there's been a weekend since then. But still waiting to hear when that's happening. So yeah, I'm waiting for all of that to happen now. Then yeah, that's effectively, unfortunately. And the other thing was, I had at the time earlier, I had pre-ordered a locomotive, sort of towards November of 24. And then all of the tariff stuff started hitting. So it was then turning out of how much extra am I going to have to pay for this locomotive? And at the time there was the de minimis rule was in place. So if you ordered less than $800, there was no tariff applied if it was for personal use. Obviously, if you're a retail outlet ordering less than $800, no, you have to pay the tariff. But private individuals did not have to pay tariff on orders less than $800. So I thought, well, that's okay. And then in July, they announced, oh, yeah, no, we're getting rid of that rule and everybody gets to pay the tariff. So sort of, ugh. And at the time, the locomotive wasn't due to arrive, I think, until October. So it's like, well, that sucks. And then completely out of the blue, last week in July, or middle of July, the manufacturer announced, actually, they're turning up early. They're going to be here at the end of July. So, yes. And the lapse of the de minimis rule didn't occur until, I think, the 21st of August. So that locomotive got shipped and in country a week before the tariffs kicked in. So that was a fortuitous. I was expecting to have to pay a tariff on that one, and then didn't have to. The one that still hasn't shipped yet, I wasn't expecting to pay a tariff on because it was supposed to arrive in June, and it ends up arriving in December. So, well. But now there's been all of the Supreme Court thing on, well, Trump used the wrong law to stick his tariffs on things, so they're null and void. But that's not the only rule that he's allowed to use to raise tariffs. I think he used something, an emergency rule that in a case of national security. So, maybe producing meds for a pandemic is a national security issue, and we need to make sure that, or we need to encourage manufacturers to make it here so we actually have some, as opposed to relying on countries that may not be the best of friends to produce life-saving drugs. That was what that ball's for. But, theoretically, re-energising our steel manufacturers. But the rules that he has available to him are just, hey, if a country has tariffs on our products, you can raise tariffs on their products, so that the balance of trade basically balances out. So, for example, if Canada is concerned about protecting their wool industry, they can put tariffs on wool imports into Canada in order to encourage Canadian manufacturers to use Canadian wool to make their sweaters or whatever. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that America can turn around and say, well, if that's the case, we're going to put tariffs on your wool coming into America. But maybe they'll look at something different, like, well, we're going to put tariffs on your corn because we grow enough for ourselves and we don't want you undercutting our corn industry. Well, that type of thing. So it's not a like for like, but it is a sort of a, well, you tariff that, we'll tariff this other thing, so everything's a wash later. So, of course, nobody knows what's happening again. Fortunately, the couriers, DHL, UPS, FedEx, currently have all of their tariff levying facilities in place. So